Hello, this is Anthony Silva. I am presenting my digital mapping, geography and urban studies 0821 final project, and I got four maps to talk about. So here's the first one. Um, and for this one, I chose to do a dot density map because I felt that it did a very good job of showing um, what I was mapping, and that's the total population of foreign-born residents per state. Um, so as you can obviously see, some states have more foreign-born residents than others, and those states are California, where the foreign-born make up 26.17%. Texas, not as much as California, but it's still a significant amount. It has a lot of dots in there. Florida, uh, close to 17%. Illinois, close to 13%. New York has close to 20% foreign-born population, um, and the Northeast has a decent amount. New England, New Jersey, which I think because of its proximity to New York, because of commuter cities like Hoboken, New Jersey, but New Jersey in its own right is also very diverse and definitely has a lot of foreign-born residents. And for reference, Pennsylvania is 4.14% foreign-born. So yeah, the dot density I thought did a very good job of showing to the extent to which some states have foreign-born residents, and I think it did a much better job than say the shaded area representation, because that can just get a little, I don't know, a little bland. And to see all these dots and then see all these dots in California where it's a quarter of the population, and then Montana where it's less than 2%, and there's literally just one small dot. I think that does a good job of really showing just um, how large the foreign-born population is in some places as compared to others. And I think that in places like New York, California, where it's close to a quarter, if not a quarter, of the population, um, that's definitely because of their large cities. So in California, you have Los Angeles, San Diego, also the proximity to Mexico and Central America, where you get a lot of immigration from. And San Francisco, Washington has a decent amount. I think that's probably, probably a lot of Canadians maybe. Places like Illinois have Chicago, so that's going to get a ton of immigration, excuse me, because it's a big city and there's lots of work there. Same with New York, same with New Jersey because of its proximity to the city, and then same with Florida. There's a lot of cities, and also Florida's close to Cuba, it's close to the Caribbean, so you're going to get a lot of immigration, and I think that explains why those states are, have such populous amounts of foreign-born residents. So for the next one, I mapped the percentage of families below the poverty level, that have an income below the poverty level in the United States. So this, I got, more or less what I expected. The South was well represented. It had a good amount of families. A good amount of a good percentage of families. Close around 10. All these states in here: Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, Georgia. Southeast. Let me try and get this back up. I don't know if I can. They all had out here like a little bit over 10, in between 10 and 12, and then some of the large, that had 15%. Louisiana, New Mexico, those states. That's about what I expected, and then to see, states that are, generally more educated, like Colorado, Washington, Minnesota, Vermont, the Northeast, especially places that don't have huge cities that aren't going to attract a lot of, poor immigrants who can't afford to go to college. You're going to see a lot more poverty in those places. So this map, more or less, I got what I expected. So even in big cities, these places are highly educated. New York, California, they have a lot of universities, but they also have a lot of cities. So, it's give or take. Same with Florida. It's in the South, but it's a little bit wealthier than, say, Alabama. Well, actually, probably a lot wealthier in some places. Alabama probably only, is nowhere near as prosperous as Florida. Same with the other southeastern states, the boot here, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and then there's West Virginia too, which, struggling with their coal industry and has fallen behind. Excuse me. So yeah, I more or less got what I expected there. So let's move on to the next one, which is female population 25 years and up who have a bachelor's degree or more. So for this one, if it will load, not really sure why this isn't loading. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back now. I had some Wi-Fi problems, but it should be better now. So yeah, so here I mapped female population 25 years and over who contain or who hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and this is per percentage wise. So again, like the previous map, I more or less got what I expected here. Places in the Northeast, I expected to see more educated women and who hold a bachelor's degree or higher. So New York, 38% of women have those degrees. Vermont, 41. New Hampshire, 37. Massachusetts, 45. Massachusetts is the most university-dense state in the country, I believe. So that's no shocker. Connecticut, again, 40. New Jersey, 41. Pennsylvania, we're lagging behind a little bit, 32. And then Maryland, 41. Virginia, 39. And then Illinois, generally more educated state, 35%, Minnesota 38, Washington 36, Colorado 42. So wow, Colorado. So yeah, you see more or less what you'd expect to see the more liberal progressive states. I think women are more inclined themselves, and I mean that's because of cultural and societal reasons, but also they're more encouraged by others too to I think go to school and do what they want to do. As compared to, I thought in the South I'd see lesser numbers, and that's more or less what I got. Georgia is actually higher than Pennsylvania, which is interesting, but Georgia has big cities. And it's also along the eastern seaboard, and there's a lot of universities along the eastern seaboard. But yeah, I mean, and then the rural states out west that tend to be, slightly more conservative, like Nevada, Idaho, Wyoming, New Mexico, Oklahoma. I kind of got what I expected. And for this, I thought the pink theme was fitting. Okay. Finally, if this will load, excuse me for a second, I'm going to have to do the same thing I did the last side to fix this Wi-Fi. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So yeah, here we did the percentage of veterans per state who are 16 years and over. So this one was tricky. I didn't really get what I thought I was going to get. I expected to see the South have a lot of veterans, and they didn't, or a lot of veterans per capita, should I say. And what I got, which I wasn't shocked by this out here in the West, but maybe, yeah, I mean, maybe the Western people are frontiersmen. I don't know. Looks like there's a lot of veterans per state out here. So Oregon close to 20%, Washington 20, Montana 18, Idaho almost 18, Wyoming 19, Colorado 18. So there's something going on out here in the West. Nevada 21. Um, you know, there's more veterans out here. I don't know if there were higher losses for this, because then also down here there's the trend where in the Southeast, where I expected to see these darker greens, this is the lowest category. So I'm not, and it's not a huge difference either, about 5 percentage points. But that's the difference between 266,000 people in Arkansas to 617,000 in Washington. Or let's say a more comparable state for population to Arkansas is maybe Arizona. Yeah, 370,000. No, actually not Arizona. None of these. But you get my point. So this one was slightly surprising. I chose the military green color scheme for obvious reasons. And yeah, that's my presentation. And thanks for watching.